You may think that after leading an entire nation into victory, Joshua would have given them a pat on the back and a job well done. But no, his farewell speech was much more than that. It was a bold warning, a fierce call to action. You see, Joshua knew something that most people don't fully grasp today. Victory, rest, and God's protection are not automatic. They come with a price. And that price? Faithfulness. Yet, how many times do we hear that life should be easy, that we deserve the shortcuts? The truth is, staying faithful to God in the long run isn't just about following rules. It's about safeguarding your future, your peace, and your success. So, what happens when we forget? Or worse, when we think we can mix in just a little bit of the world's way? Spoiler alert, it's not pretty. Curious about what Joshua had to say, and how it's just as crucial for you today. Let's dive in. Then, let's read the chapter together. After a long time had passed and the Lord had given Israel rest from all their enemies around them, Joshua, by then a very old man, summoned all Israel, their elders, leaders, judges, and officials, and said to them, I am very old. You yourselves have seen everything the Lord your God has done to all these nations for your sake. It was the Lord your God who fought for you. Remember how I have allotted as an inheritance for your tribes all the land of the nations that remain, the nations I conquered, between the Jordan and the Mediterranean Sea in the west. The Lord your God himself will push them out for your sake. He will drive them out before you, and you will take possession of their land, as the Lord your God promised you. Be very strong. Be careful to obey all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, without turning aside to the right or to the left. Do not associate with these nations that remain among you. Do not invoke the names of their gods or swear by them. You must not serve them or bow down to them. But you are to hold fast to the Lord your God, as you have until now. The Lord has driven out before you great and powerful nations. To this day no one has been able to withstand you. One of you routs 1,000, because the Lord your God fights for you, just as he promised. So be very careful to love the Lord your God. But if you turn away and ally yourselves with the survivors of these nations that remain among you, and if you intermarry with them and associate with them, then you may be sure that the Lord your God will no longer drive out these nations before you. Instead, they will become snares and traps for you, whips on your backs and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from this good land, which the Lord your God has given you. Now I am about to go the way of all the earth. You know with all your heart and soul that not one of all the good promises the Lord your God gave you has failed. Every promise has been fulfilled, not one has failed. But just as all the good things the Lord your God has promised you have come to you, so he will bring on you all the evil things he has threatened, until the Lord your God has destroyed you from this good land he has given you. If you violate the covenant of the Lord your God, which he commanded you, and go and serve other gods and bow down to them, the Lord's anger will burn against you, and you will quickly perish from the good land he has given you. Let's say a quick prayer to thank the Lord for his mercy. Hey God, thank you so much for this time of study and for the knowledge you've opened up to us. It's amazing how your word is always alive and relevant, and we're grateful for the lessons you've shown us today. Please help us to take what we've learned and apply it in our daily lives. Give us the strength to remain faithful, to stay true to your ways, and to guard against the distractions of this world. We can't do it without you, so please walk with us and guide every step we take. Amen. So, here's the million-dollar question. Are you ready to apply Joshua's wisdom to your own life? The call to faithfulness is as urgent today as it was for Israel all those years ago. It's easy to get distracted, to think that we can stray just a little or mix a bit of the world's thinking into our lives. But Joshua's words make it clear, victory, rest, and God's protection are reserved for those who remain faithful. Think about your own journey. What areas of your life need to be realigned? Where have you been tempted to compromise? It's time to make the choice, and it's time to act. If you're ready to embrace that challenge, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's walk this path together, and let's make every step count. And, as always, don't forget to check the last video and learn more about the scriptures.